Remember that trope in teen shows where the main character falls in love with one of their close friends? It's all too common. Not only are Nickelodeon and Disney Channel different with their live-action sitcoms, they're even different the way they approach relationships, especially in their teen shows. And I want to break down the most infamous couples on the most popular shows on both channels. Yes, it's exactly who you're thinking. iCarly with Sam and Freddie, and Hannah Montana with Lily and Oliver. It wasn't until I started making these retrospectives that I realized how closely Hannah Montana and iCarly coincided, but I was missing something that was right in front of me: the relationships. Both of these shows had their main friend group's characters fall in love. They managed to make it so different, but the same at the same time. What's up, everybody? It's Johnny 2000, covering all 2000s media, from movie, TV, video games, and so much more. On Hannah Montana, Lily is Miley's best friend. She's a girly girl, but also a skater girl. Oliver is a feminine goofball that just happens to fit in with the group. Meanwhile, on iCarly, we have Sam, who is this aggressive jokester, and Freddie, the guy who's just trying to fit in the friend group. So I wanted to take the two most pivotal episodes where we kind of see the couples at their peaks and kind of compare and contrast their relationships. We got Hannah Montana's What I Don't Like About You and iCarly's I Date Sam and Freddie. Let's break down the two episodes and kind of talk about it. Let's start with iCarly. So, iCarly starts with Sam and Freddie in an argument. This newly together couple are trying to figure out how to get along. One is super aggressive and one is super passive. So obviously that's the first argument. Sam apparently is standing up to his mom for him, and he's basically like, you don't have to do that.
Sam, Freddie should be able to complain about people to you without worrying that you're going to put them in a hospital.
I guess.
And Freddie, even though it's a little extreme to violate a man with bees, you should at least appreciate that Sam did it because she cares about you.
The two had a lot of tension as friends, and it seems like they didn't change their characters at all to fit the relationship, which I kind of like. I like that they are true to themselves as characters, but that also shows that they really haven't grown at all, and that's something that concerns me. Like, at least Oliver and Lily had their relationship impact them a little bit more. There's a B-plot where Spencer is apparently cutting grass that he put in the house, which is nuts at this point. And Gibby is trying to establish a B-plot with Carly by getting a puppy.
Why'd you call me his mommy?
Well, you know, Sam and Freddie are always hanging out together now.
Yeah?
And that means you and I are gonna have more time. Just the two of us.
Yeah?
So I figure sharing a dog will give us something to talk about.
No.
Meanwhile, Freddie and Sam keep coming at Carly with a new problem.
Pay the man.
No! What cup is worth 36 bucks? That's Jamaican plastic! Forget it.
I can't believe you're being so cheap.
They even go as far as to wake her up in the middle of the night to settle a dispute between the two. Which is kind of like me and YouTube. I'm always settling disputes. The next day, they're ready to film iCarly, and Freddie and Sam are actually in a good mood. It's positive at first, then live on the web show, they have a disagreement.
I thought we were doing the blue butt bit first.
No, we decided to do the adult diaper bit first.
You never think I'm right.
You never respect my opinion.
Which is super funny. It's like the internet culture of like seeing a little bit too much, which is kind of fun. I like that it interrupts the web show. It shows that it's such a problem that it actually bleeds into her real life, which the Hannah Montana episode doesn't really do. So Freddie and Sam actually attempt to go on a date themselves, but they bring Carly and have her sit at the back of the restaurant.
Freddie, it's not nice to judge other people's cheese habits. Sam, that's an insane amount of cheese. It embarrasses me.
She has a bad time, like people start coming up to her, and eventually they argue once again. It's really clear that this is not gonna work. Like, they argue so much, it's like not healthy. Like, these people shouldn't need an outside party in order to date. Like, that's ridiculous.
Seriously, why don't you two just pick up your forks and use them to jab each other in the eyes?
And this is a lot more extreme than the Hannah Montana one, I would say. The lengths they go to insult each other, and it only takes Carly yelling at them and standing up to them for them to finally realize that maybe it's a little too much.
I deserve this lasagna.
The episode ends there, and the relationship kind of goes on past this episode, but I do feel like this is primarily the episode in which was copied to the Hannah Montana one. Now let's switch to Hannah Montana for a second. So we start the episode with Hannah Montana coming back from her newest movie, Indiana Jones, and it's this really obvious parody of Indiana Jones, but it's funny watching her outtakes. Miley's returning home from this long vacation, hoping that nothing's changed, only to leave the room and see that Lily and Oliver kiss. Oh my gosh, what? We jump into hearing them talk about why they need to keep it a secret from her and that she wouldn't really understand right away, and Oliver has a couple funny lines here.
You know, sometimes I could say things like, ooh, doesn't Lily look cute today? And, you know, another time you could be like, wow, I've never really noticed it, but Oliver looks like a Greek god, or...
Miley confronts them at the beach, saying that she knows what happened because obviously it was in their living room.
You guys should date. And then not tell me about it.
I think she knows.
And they pretty much admit to it right away. See, this is where it's a little bit different than iCarly. Like, iCarly happened over the course of a couple episodes, but Miley found out they're together, already are approaching them about it, and this actually leads into the disagreement.
So seriously, you think Radiohead is better than Coldplay?
Radio play, cold head. The main thing is, you guys are together, right?
It doesn't seem like they as a couple argue or disagree too much. It's almost like this is one really specific scenario. And in this scenario, basically they argue over Radiohead versus Coldplay, like which song did they dance to, which leads to them arguing about their first date and even more.
If you like Coldplay so much, they should be your girlfriend. You could take them skating and then not remember it!
I'll take them skating and not remember it. You know what? Who's 12 now?
And they even break up pretty much right then and there on the beach, which this is what should have happened with Freddie and Sam. Like, theirs is so dysfunctional, it's almost like distasteful. Like, you feel guilty for watching them be together and happy about it. Where at least Lily and Oliver, you're like, okay, I could see why they should be together.
Because you're obviously wrong.
I'll tell you what's wrong. When I picked you as a boyfriend.
You guys, please stop fighting. This is ridiculous.
Miley is insistent that if they're going to argue, they better come back to her by the time they're done. So she sits on the beach until midnight. Robbie actually even gives her a blanket because that's how long she's been there. Throughout the episode, she constantly asks Robbie for advice through metaphor of his sandwich.
And the tomato decided that they should be together. Oh, I love you, bacon pop. Yes, I love you too, tomato pop. And then the lettuce decided to finally come back home, and they start arguing. Oh, bacon. Oh, tomato. Oh, no. And then I'm the lettuce, I get in the middle.
And keeps destroying it every chance she gets. And this is the part that's the most like iCarly. So Lily and Oliver are sitting on separate tables at the beach, insisting Miley chooses them as her best friend. She goes to Lily first and says that she chose her, but should probably apologize to Oliver because he deserves at least that. Then she goes to Oliver and says that she chose him and was just apologizing to her about it because she deserves that.
Wow. You really did pick me, over your best girlfriend? Man. I must be awesome.
So she basically told both of them that she's choosing them over one another. Meanwhile, the subplot is Jackson trying to get into college. He wants to go to Santa Barbara, so he has this interview that's about to happen at the house. So to look really good, he tries to make it look like he started a nonprofit for children, which is very specific. I would kind of believe that. Cheryl Hines is a guest star in this episode, and she comes to interview Jackson. Robbie has a guilt talk with him to make sure that he doesn't actually go through with it, and it works. Jackson admits to the woman that he's been lying about all his good deeds, and she's basically like, yeah, you're not getting into college. Like, you expect them to be like, okay, yeah, you're honest, you could definitely do it, but that didn't happen in this one. Later, she asks Oliver to come over, and we're still not really sure what her plan is, until they both show up into Miley's house.
What are you doing here? She chose me! Miley!
She's dressed as Indiana Jones, and I'm uncomfortable. So she plays a video with her playing both of these parts, Lily and Oliver, and showing their argument and why it was like so petty.
Yeah, her hair smelled like apples. I like apples.
And it's really disturbing to see Miley in these parts. Like, one, as a blonde, that's not Hannah, and two, as Oliver. I don't need to say more than that. This allows them to realize how stupid they've been acting and how important their friendship and relationship is, so they get back together. Unlike Carly's that ended up in a big blowout and her leaving the restaurant with no resolve.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
I missed you, Lollipop.
I missed you too, Lily Pop.
There's tension in both of the friend groups, with Lily and Oliver commonly disagreeing, getting into arguments, that brother-sister dynamic, and I definitely see that in iCarly with Freddie and Sam. The only difference, Freddie and Sam would never make a good match, because as friends they are so unhealthy. Unlike Hannah Montana, where at least they usually come to a resolution and it's not just one bullying the other. It's similar in the sense that she does shame them, like Carly's basically like, well then you shouldn't be dating at all, and then they realize they should be dating, which is kind of a lackluster ending for that one. Miley actually takes like a positive approach for it, which I think is a little bit more fair. But yeah, it's hard to deny that these episodes aren't super similar. The Hannah Montana episode was released on April 19th, 2009, with iCarly being 2 years later, September 10th, 2011. Therefore, we know who logically went first. We know who factually came first. But yeah, overall, I don't know why iCarly and Hannah Montana overlap so much. Maybe it's just the idea of popularity and fame coming into your social personal life as a teenager. And I guess already doing a teenager show, you're bound to overlap plots just in dating, miscommunications, fights with parents. So I guess it is inevitable that they cross over a lot. If anything, maybe they should have crossed over more, or made an official crossover. No. That would be breaking some cardinal sin that says networks can't cross over. But otherwise, like, what did you guys think? Does it feel like these are essentially borrowing the same plot, or are they different enough to make it fair? I personally think that they are different enough, and I just like comparing and contrasting them because it's like so uncanny that these two shows just happen to be doing the same exact plot. Isn't it so weird to think about the premises both being the main character as the third wheel to their best friend's relationship? And I love seeing how both characters deal with it completely differently. In I Date a Bad Boy, Carly was very shallow in getting over Griffin because of his Beanie Baby collection, while Miley developed a real crush and was just choosing between them. Here, they're given both the same scenario where their best friends are dating, and they both deal with it completely different. Miley comes from a more genuine place because it seems like she's focused on getting them to a healthier place, while Carly is just focused on trying to get them to not fight. Overall, while the iCarly episode is really funny, it doesn't have a resolution. Freddie and Sam seem to argue about everything, which is kind of the issue in their relationship. That makes it really hard to form a bond. While Lily and Oliver only really disagree on one thing, and that's what comes between them. You have a lot more hope for Lily and Oliver because once they get over this slump, it's going to be a while before they get another obstacle, while Freddie and Sam deal with obstacles all the time. And is that fun to deal with? Not really. Suddenly, Carly is not fixing their relationship for the sake of caring about her friends. She's fixing it for the inconveniences of the people around them. Also, Lily and Oliver date successfully throughout the rest of the series, having a lot of more important moments between each other. They overcome a lot of their disagreements and become stronger as a couple, while Sam and Freddie, spoiler alert, don't really last that long and continue to argue the rest of the time. But yeah, overall, they're both really funny episodes, but this is when iCarly starts to take a downturn in the quality of its show, while Hannah Montana is just getting better from here on out. So I think objectively, the Hannah Montana one does it a lot better. But what do you guys think? Do you ship Carly and Freddie more than Lily and Oliver? Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Johnny2000, and I will see you guys next time.